Hi friends, welcome you all to the debate session on coding the cash flow operating activities. This is about the technique to minimize the errors in coding the operating activities line item. I can say it is nothing but divide and rule. For that I have created a decision making tree. If we follow diligently, we can code the line items of operating activities without any error. So let us try, test and learn it. First of all, we need to know about the various subsections within operating activities. So we can divide the operating activities into three subdivisions. One is non-cash section or above working capital section. Second one is working capital section. Here you will get current assets and current liabilities. And the third one is actual cash flow section, or you can say below working capital section. So here, if we are able to bifurcate the operating activities into three different divisions, then assume that 50% of work has been done. So take an example. So I have I'm opening one company. It's a 3M company. Here just concentrate on the cash flow operating activities. So here this is a cash flow operating activity section. Okay. So we need to bifurcate the all activities into three different parts. Right. The first one is what? Non-cash section, or you can say above working capital section. So working capital section will start from here. So from here to here, this is nothing but what? This is non-cash section. So, or you can say above working capital section. Second one is, this is working capital section. Up to here, we have a working capital section. There, we are finding current assets, current liabilities. After this, the third one is there. This is nothing but actual cash flow section. So, after bifurcating, what we need to do and how we need to code it. So within of that non-cash section itself, I can again bifurcate into three parts. One is unusual item. A non-cash can be unusual item. Non-cash can be an extraordinary item. A non-cash item can be a normal item. Correct? So unusual item. So go back to the income statement. In income statement, you will get 7 unusual items. That is gain on sale of investment, impairment of assets held for use, impairment of assets held for sale, restructuring charges, litigation expenses or costs, correct? Purchase R&D written off. So all these are what? All these are unusual items. But in cash flow operating activities, we have only two codes which are representing the unusual items. One is OUI, second one is OPRD. OPRD we are using for acquired R&D written off, and OUI we are using for all other unusual items. So when we are looking at the cash flow operating activities, first we need to decide, is it a part of our non-cash? Is it a part of our working capital changes, or is it a part of actual cash flow? If it is a part of non-cash section, then again we need to ask one more question to ourselves, that which section it belongs to. Whether is it an unusual item? Is it an extraordinary item? Is it a normal item? If it is an unusual item, means only two codes are there. So what are those? That is OUI and OPRD. If the acquired R&D written off is there, just put it as OPRD. If other than acquired R&D written off is there, then use OUI. Correct? So the next section is extraordinary item. And so again go back to the income statement. In income statement we have 4 kinds of extraordinary items. One is XIDO, one is XACZ, one is excess IT, then one is XPRA. So how many codes we have in cash flow operating activity? We have only 3 extraordinary items. So we don't have a tax on extraordinary items here, that is excess IT. we don't have. We have OTRA, we have OIDA, we have OAC. So, if the line item which is belonging to non-cash section, and if it is not an unusual item, if it is extraordinary item, then we need to use these three codes. So, we need to decide whether it is accounting thing, whether it is a discontinued operation, or whether it is the other extraordinary item. So, accordingly, we need to code this. So, this is for other extraordinary item. This OIDO, we are using it for discontinued operation, and OACG, we are using it for that is accounting. So, go further. Let's assume if non-cash section is there, if it is the part of non-cash section, and it is not an unusual item, and it is not an extraordinary item, that is a normal item. If it is a normal item, again we need to ask the third question. What is that, sir? Whether it is having a specific code or a general code. If it is having a specific code, we need to use a specific code. So how many specific codes we have in our operating system? We have 5 specific codes. So out of 5 specific codes, and the SDEC, that is the depreciation, we are having it as a hard-coded line item. So concentrate on the other line items which are having a specific code for normal items. That is amortization of intangibles, that is OAM. Or OAMA, that is amortization of acquisition cost. Or share of associates or share of affiliates. Or ODDT, that is deferred tax. Deferred tax is always a part of working capital changes, but in Duplex, we can code within working capital changes also, or we can code above working capital changes also. So if it is not part of this OAMI, OAMA, OEIA or OBDT, then we need to decide it should be OMCI. So if we are just by asking 3 questions, we can aram to code the non-cash section. The first question, which section it belongs to, whether it belongs to non-cash section, working capital section, or actual cash section. If it is a part of working non-cash section, again ask one more question, whether it is unusual item, or extraordinary item, or normal item. If it is unusual item, we need to use these 2 codes. If it is extraordinary item, we need to use these 3 codes according to the line item or nature of the line item. If it is a normal item, again we need to ask one more question. Is it having a specific code or a general? If it is having a specific code, use a specific code. If it is not having a specific code, blindly code it as OMCI. Okay? So can we move to the working capital section? Let's go. If it is not a part of non-cash section, then if it is within working capital changes, then the next question arises, whether it is an asset or liability. Asset, how many codes we have? We have OACR, we have OPPY, we have OITL, we have OOAL. So what is working capital? Working capital is nothing but the combination of asset and liability, current asset and current liability. So current asset means we have cash and cash equivalent, cash, prepaid expenses, accounts receivable, deferred tax, that is again other receivable. Right? We have many current assets. But we are not updating cash and cash equivalent or cash here. Why? Because cash is the bottom line of a cash flow, and with the help of closing cash balance and opening cash balance, we are finding the NCC. That's why in assets, in current asset side, you won't get or we won't get the cash item. That's why we don't have a code here. So if it is asset, is it a part of a receivable? Receivable means here, it can be account receivable, it can be other receivable, it can be notes receivable, or it can be any other total receivable also. Second, that is OPPY. That is APPY we are using in a balance sheet for prepaid expenses, and OPPY we are using in in cash flow. So that is inventory. It can be raw material, it can be finished goods, it can be work in progress, it can be other assets, whatever it may be, we need to close as a OITL. So OAS we are using for other assets. It can be a current portion of long-term assets also. If it is a part of liabilities, then we have 5 codes with regard to the current liability. And OACB, that's accounts payable. OAS is accrued liability. OTBA, this is a combination of accounts payable and accrued liability. Correct? And fourth one is OTXP, that is tax, income tax liability. If it is sales tax liability or if it is a part of professional tax liability, don't use OTXP. OTXP is only meant for income tax. And OLB is for other liability. Sometimes what happens, company won't don't say it is an asset or it is a liability. In such case, if it is giving a combination of assets and liabilities, then we need to use OAL. OAL is for assets as well as liabilities. So, this is about the working capital section. If it is not a part of non-cash section, if the line item is not a part of working capital section, if it is a part of actual cash flow, then blindly code it as OCF because we have only one code with regard to OCF. So, just by asking these simple questions, we can bifurcate, we can aggregate, we can use the appropriate code for each line item. So, hope this is going to help you a lot and thank you.